Awesome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to New Zealand Training. It is the 6th of May. Oh my God, it's May. Crazy. My name is Bridget, if you don't know me, and I'm going to take your training tonight. And Alex just had a heart attack because I told her she was going to have to speak. So I'm going to bring her on first, get her out of the way. So I thought I was just going to share with you guys about starting conversations tonight, but I thought since Alex has just been to Uluru that I'd just love her to share top 2 takeaways, Alex. That's all, top 2 takeaways of how it was.
Thanks for putting me on the spot, Bridge. Love ya. Okay, well, this is the aftermath of Uluru for everybody. It was so cool. It was amazing. It was definitely, it was just one of those moments where you're like, I'm going to remember this forever. It was just, it was super cool. Probably my main takeaways were, we're in the right place with the right people. Like just there was a common thread, not just one person that said it, but other people outside of the Juice Plus crew made comment about how positive our group was. Like we had a really good reputation at the hotel. Like one of the girls had, they'd gone into like the spa and they're like, are you with that like happy positive group or whatever she said? And she was like, yes, I am. And but there was a few, I know, like a few instances like that, and I just thought, man, it's so cool. Like I room shared with Bianca, which was a real hoot. It was really fun, but like everyone were kind of paired up with different people. But I was just like, you know what, I don't think it would have mattered who I'd been paired up with out of that whole group of like 45 people. I think I would have had a ball with whoever I had been hooked up with, just because they're all just such a cool group of people. High vibe, positive, just really cool. So it was just it was awesome. So that was probably probably my first takeaway, just in the right place with the right people. And second takeaway, goodness me, this is really throwing me on the spot. Second takeaway, well, pretty much my summary, because we all went around the table the last night there for dinner, and we're like just summing up the word, sort of the word of our time, like as in if we could put it in one word. And I was just struggling to get a word, and then I was just like, what is that word? I don't know what it is. But then I was just like, I just felt so spoiled, like it was just, you just get treated so well. And sorry, my phone's dinging. Just any Juice Plus experience, if any of you ever have a chance to be a part of anything to do with any of this kind of thing, like leadership stuff, anything that they seem to put on, they always go for excellency. It's never sort of just okay. It's always amazing. And it was just like that throughout the whole weekend. Was just great. Got really, really well looked after. And just felt really spoiled, and just was great. It was so cool, and definitely more motivated than ever to make sure that I never miss out on one of these ever again. And the work that you do now is gonna just line you up for when the next start date happens, because I know for me the momentum really did kick off, not as a result of what I was doing in a particular month. It was what I was doing at the sort of the few months before. It really does follow you. So if you're feeling a little bit like, I'm working really hard and nothing's happening right now, it's like often it's like 30 days from now, 60 days from now, 90 days from now, it will follow you. So what effort you put in now is going to pay off when the next round of the incentive trip happens, wherever it is. I have no idea. Everyone's flying out their suggestions left, right, and centre, but I got no clue where the next one is. But that was my takeaways. It was awesome.
Awesome.
Do not miss out on another one.
Thank you. And you're buzzing. It's so cool. So cool to see. And I think last year it was the same. It was just feeling spoiled, being treated like a queen, and like I spent years and years working on super yachts, treating everybody else like they were rock stars. So it was really nice to be treated like one, So tonight I thought, this is the lead up to conference. We've got conference next month. This is the most important month. Who do you want to be when you walk that stage at conference? What goals have you got? And this month I've decided that I'm not doing a end of month hustle. It needs to start now. I'm sick of the 5 days before or 1 day before. Like Rach managed to pull something out of the bag last month. The morning of, said, "Oh, let's do this amazing post for a team who needed one more order to go for a promotion." So we did, and she pulled it off. But it was like we could have thought about that 4 days ago, not like the morning of. But so this is going to be my theme this month to keep that going. So yeah, so one of the things that I wrote down actually was time management. So I guess thinking about that, thinking what can I do, small things that I can do every day to move my business forward. And it's just making it that a priority. And I think if you are really time poor, the best thing to do is to do, like you've all got your own version of this, I'm sure, like the DMO to Success. That's Adam's version, but I'm sure you've all got your own team's version. It doesn't have to be an hour of it. You can set your timer for 5-minute blocks. And so it can be like in the morning when we jump on with Denise, it's 5 minutes of touching base with people that are new contacts, just making sure you're loving and warming up your socials, loving and liking on their posts and things like that. And then it's 5 minutes of birthdays or 3 minutes of birthday messages. And then it's 5 minutes of replying to comments on your posts or replying to people or reaching out to people that have liked your stories. So by setting that timer, you're not going to get lost in Facebook or Instagram land and go down a track and an hour later go, oh my God, I've sent one message. Like, what have I done? So I think if you're time poor, best thing to do is to say, this is what I want to achieve. Like, and one of them obviously has got to be inviting. If you're going to spend half an hour on your business every day, you need to be inviting at least one person. And so you need to be, if you set that timer to do those tasks and what you get done in that time, move on to the next one. Set the timer, move on to the next one, because otherwise you will never get through the tasks. And we need to be making sure, 1, we're inviting, 2, we're following up, 3, we're adding more contacts and starting new conversations. Those are going to be your most high paying activities. So yeah, definitely recommended that. And coming around that, starting new conversations, I hear a lot of people like, who do I talk to, or how do I start new conversations? So I thought I would go, I know that Anne just delivered a training on this before, and I'm definitely not going to be able to deliver it like Anne shares, but I thought I would share screen and go onto my Instagram and show you how I find new people, start conversations with, and my kind of method. And I don't only do this, probably this is something that I do if I've got I don't know, 30 minutes and I'm not having to do work as such, or the kids might be in bed and my husband's watching something on TV that I don't want to watch. I'll spend time doing this, and I don't do it enough, probably only once or twice a month. So I'm just gonna see. No, I'm never very good at this whole screen sharing thing. So let's see if I can get it done. Ooh, did that work? Yep. Okay, now I've lost. Okay, can you see Instagram? Someone nod. Yep. Okay, cool. So if I just go, I hate it when you get all these things up. Hang on, get rid of all this. Okay, so I'm just gonna, so what I would do is I go into my Instagram and we say, okay, I'm gonna look for a blue tick account. And yes, sometimes, like Adam mentioned this morning, blue tick accounts these days, people can pay for them. So they might not be a huge influencer, but you want to find someone who is an influencer, maybe in if you're, if we're into health and wellness, or they're a mum, or they're doing things that are attracting people that you want to have in your business or that you would connect with. That's what we're looking for. I'm going to bring up one person. Hang on, see if I can find this one person that I follow. Whoops, there she goes. Where'd she go? She's not like a health or wellness person, but she's just somebody that I love and respect, and she's freaking funny and she's cool. So, and she's also got just 1.4 million followers. So that helps. So like I might just go into one of her reels, and I can see here that all the people that have commented on it. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to find somebody that I think might be someone that I get along with, or I'm going to click on their account. and say that she's someone that I think is, yeah, she's my vibe or whatever, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go into her posts and I'm going to start liking them, you know. I have a little bit of a look around, I'll love on her posts, I might check out her stories. And if she's someone that I like, I might then, you know, comment on her stories, and that's going to go straight into her inbox. So this is what, she's obviously not someone that I actually want to follow, but this is what you're doing. So this is just a great way to start. Find more like-minded people and people that you want to follow. And this is what I say, doing this is a slow process, right? So these people, it's going to take you, I'm not going to follow her because she's got 85k people following her. But if I decide that I really like someone, then what I've got to do, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click save. And I'm going to save them to my Kiss Kiss Hug Hug folder. So I've got a folder that's in my Instagram. I'm going to go over here. So hard to do it on the desktop. And I can go here to saved, right? So I've got in here, I've got reels that I want to recreate that I've saved. I've got audio and I've got my Kiss Kiss Hug Hug folder. And so this is that morning that I was telling you that I'm going to spend 5 minutes interacting with people that I like their content and I want to see them to see more of. This is where I go. And so I'm going to go, I go and I click into them and I see their new posts that they've done, and I'll go and give them some love and comment on their new stuff. And so that's how I'm kind of starting the conversation, starting interacting with them. And then over time, like after you become familiar with them, like this lady, she's really cool. She's in Hawaii. Oh, my computer's slow. Anyway, so I've kind of been commenting and like on her stuff for a while. She's got some twins. They, you know, she's posts really cool stuff about the twins. Can't see it, but so now I'm probably at the stage where, you know, I started to send some messages to her off her stories, and we've kind of started to create relationships. So that's just like a slow burn over time, and then soon might come a time where I'll be like, you know, hey, how you going? Love what you're doing with the kids. Can't help but think what I'm doing might be a great way for you to create an extra income around your kids. If I was to send you some information, would you be open to taking a look, or however it goes? So yeah, so that's kind of my methodology around starting new conversations with, what do you call it, your cold market. Yeah, and so does anyone have any questions around that? That makes sense. Yes, no, maybe not. I'm going to stop sharing. Yeah, see, moved all my stuff in. There we go. Yeah, hopefully, yeah, cool, thanks. Hopefully that makes sense. And obviously that's just Instagram. I was just talking to the girls now, like Instagram probably isn't one of my, you know, I'd say 90% of my stuff comes from my clients and my team come from Facebook. But I do find cold market on Instagram a lot easier to connect with and create new connections with. They just seem a lot open. Yep, I will get to Facebook in a minute. So that's just, I do spend quite a bit of time, and I want to build on Instagram too, because I find that it's a lot easier to go global on Instagram than it is on Facebook. So yeah, so if you want to do the similar thing to Facebook, and then we have, you know, Facebook groups. So the best thing is to find a group that you really resonate with. Like, I mean, like, for example, I'm just going to pick a Rach because she's sitting right there, but Rach likes to build stuff. Like, she's incredible in the gardening and her garden. She builds like these incredible decks and what do you call it, water tables for the kids in like 5 seconds. Like, she's so good at stuff like that. So she should be on a group of like mums that love to build stuff. I don't know, you know, like something that you can add value to, that you can go in and share a post or comment, and like someone's like, oh, I need this, and you're like, yeah, this is how you do it. You just put this now there or that now there, and it's done, you know. Like, so some is a way to connect. Love it. Obviously I'm not a builder. So it's a way to connect to somebody that they're going to be like, oh, this is my person that I need to go to for this. Even though it's got nothing to do with health or wellness or Dress Plus, it doesn't matter. You're going to create a really cool relationship with that person. And then as you build that relationship, you might be like, hey, you know, like they might ask you questions about whatever you're sharing, adding value to on the page. And then you're like, hey, it's probably easier just to send me a message on Facebook, flick me a message. And then you've made a friend and you start a new conversation. So that's how I would do it on Facebook. It's taken me a really long time to find groups. This is what I've always been told, and I've never actually had a few groups that I felt worked really well for me until recently. And I've ended up on some holistic health group and a couple of other ones that I just feel that I can naturally add value to all the time. And I might not be sharing about the products or whatever, but it's stuff that I feel confident speaking to. So that's why I feel it needs to be, I don't know if you're a dog lover or a cat lover, or maybe you're a teacher and there's teachers groups or whatever, homeschooling, there's things that you can naturally share with confidence that people are then going to trust you back. You're going to create new friendships. So that's how I would start those new conversations on Facebook. And it doesn't have to lead to the business or the product straight away. It's about building that friendship and creating that trust. Okay, I need to know who Go Beans is, because you sent me a message the other day and I'm like, I don't know who this person is. Can you? Hi. I don't know how to say your name either. So Shika? Yeah. Okay. Hi. Do I post on those groups? Definitely, if I have something to add, and that's the goal, no? Like if I have some value to add around, then I'm definitely going to be posting. And if you're looking for a group and it's a new one, then jump on and introduce yourself. Hey, I'm Shika and I love dogs, and you share the information about that, and that's a great way to introduce yourself, and people are going to say, hey, welcome, and so yes. And so then leading on from there, what I was going to say was, you get to obviously what we talk about, you'll hear talk about a lot here, which is FORM or FROG. And so those are the acronyms that are your way to start conversations with new people. So FORM is family, so ask them about their family. Do they have kids? Do they not have kids? Are they married? Those kind of questions. Occupation, what do they do for work? Do they love it? How long they've been doing it? Did they always imagine doing that for work? Recreation, what do they love to do in their spare time? Maybe they go mountain biking, maybe they go rock climbing, I don't know. Just what do they love to do? What do they want to do more of? And motivation, what are they motivated to do more of? What gets them out of bed? Are they looking forward to saving for a holiday? Are they looking forward to buying a house? I don't know what their motivation is. And FROG is pretty much the same. It's family, recreation, occupation, and then the last one's goals. So so that's a good kind of to have that in the back of your mind when you're talking to a new person. Obviously, you're not going to go boom, boom, boom through all those things, but it's just a way that if you're thinking about that, you can lead that into the conversation where it just naturally becomes like, for me, it's normal to ask a person, hey, how you going? How's your family? How are the kids? And then, what are you doing for work these days? And then the cool thing is that they'll normally ask you back, oh, yeah, I'm doing this. How about you? What are you doing these days? And that gives you an opportunity to share what you're doing, So that is that. What else did I have written down about? Oh, and another new thing about that, I was just going to share about starting conversations. If you feel like I don't know how to start conversations with my current friends, so like obviously you've got so many current friends on Facebook. Maybe they're friends that you've gone to school with, I don't know, or friends from a maternity group or whatever. And the best way to go through those friends to start new conversations is, I would say, one, you can obviously go through them A to Z in your Facebook thing, but always either on a Friday or a Monday, because a Friday it's easy to say, hey, how you going? What you up to for the weekend? Any exciting plans? So that's not like a random message, or on a Monday, hey, how was your weekend? Hope you had a good time. What did you get up to? So like if you're thinking of you're wanting to start more conversations with your current friends on Facebook, but you don't know how to start them, then I'd say, right, every Friday and every Monday, I'm going to send messages to 5 people of my current contacts, And that's the easy way to start that message, you know. And then obviously if you're doing the birthday messages every day, you do that for a year, you're going to have talked to everybody on your Facebook page for a year. And if you're like me, you'll get through to the next year and realize that you sent them some information about 6 months ago and you haven't followed up with them and things like that. So birthday messages is definitely really, really powerful, and everybody loves to be wished happy birthday. Yeah, I think that's about all I had around starting new conversations. Does anyone have any questions anyway so far about what we've gone over? Yes. So I think, yeah, so coming back to May and leading into conference, I think if you can be starting 5 new conversations a day, then you're going to start to build some traction over the month, which is awesome. And I think what I would love you all to like do is make sure that at least one of those has an invite in them. And one of them is inviting them to either take a look. 5 new conversations with a cold market or warm market, you mean, Tony? I would say 5 new conversations with anyone, like new conversations. They can be your cold or your warm market, but just starting a new conversation. So it's just that new, hey, how you going? What you're up to, the form or the frog, but making those new conversations, because every time you're talking to them, they're seeing what's on your Facebook page or your Instagram as well, you know. So that's just treating the algorithms, and they're naturally going to see what you're doing. Is there a document with scripts for conversation starters for new team? For conversation starters, I don't know. Is there, Alex? There's definitely one for, like, if you're talking to a customer, like a potential customer. No, good question. I'm not sure if we have one. I don't know if there's one in the wildfire team, but I will find out. And if not, maybe we should create one. Yes, yeah, there's a master question, ask a script.
I think, like, I mean, depending on what group you're in, like, for example, when it's to do with homeschooling, you're going to ask a question about homeschooling. So I think don't overthink it about what you're going to say to this person. It's like, well, where's the connection point? Like, what's the common ground? Because whatever the common ground is, that's what you're going to find very easy to speak about. So with Bridge, with this group, with this holistic health group that she's finding it very easy to connect with, no doubt the conversations she's having are just flowing very easily because they're talking on a common, like they're on a common ground, like with what they're speaking about. So I wouldn't overthink what the conversation starters are. I think you just need to be connecting with people who are your people. Like, what are your interests? What are your hobbies? What do you love doing? What's easy for you to talk about? Don't be in a health group if you don't like talking about health. You know, it's like, I'm seeing Marie laughing. Don't be in a running group if you hate running. Like Marie loves to chat with the runners. It's like, I ain't going in the running group. I ain't making any friends in there. But it's like you've got to find your people, and trust me, you won't need to know conversation starters because you're going to talk with these people about what your common ground is. It's going to be easy.
Yeah, totally agree. And then that's when it just naturally flows on to somewhere else. So when I'm talking about conversation starters, I'm not talking about starting a conversation and inviting them tomorrow to look at the business, or like, that's why these conversations, starting new conversations, is so important, because it's the long game. Like, it's something, you know, you're having these conversations, and then depending on how good you are at moving people through or asking the questions will depend on when an opportunity comes up to then introduce the business or the product, or it might never come up and you've just made a new friend too. So don't go in with any expectation of where the conversation is going to lead. I think that's really, really important. What event video would you be your suggestion for a first invite to watch? Are we talking about product or business? Product. So there's the Level Up Your House video, which everyone should have access to, which is what I would always send. It's only like 5 minutes, and it shares around the products. So if somebody's interested in learning more about the products and I've had a conversation with them, I know what's going on, how I can help them, and they still want to learn more, then I would be sending them that. Maybe somebody can pop it in the bottom there for me. Now I was going to say something else and I've totally lost my train of thought now. It's all good. It's gone. Oh yes, it's back. Okay. So the other thing I was going to say for you, people that are, you know, extra, which I know Marie is because she's on Denise's call every morning, is that I would encourage you not just to start, you know, not just to have 5 new conversations a day in one invite, but to, this is only for the extra people, but to ask people to take a look at what we're doing until you get a yes. So that is the yes streak challenge, and it totally depends on your personality. If you're someone like me, you love something like this. If it's gonna put you out of action like some people because you're going to get upset because you didn't get a yes, then don't do it. But if you have a buddy that you want to run with and say, hey, let's do a yes streak, what it involves is inviting people to take a look at the business or the products, depending on where you're at with the conversations, until you get a yes that day. It doesn't have to be a yes, I'm going to buy, or yes, I want to join the business. It just has to be yes, I'm open to taking a look. And that's your yes. So if anyone wants to team up with a buddy and do a yes streak until the end of May, you can always hit me up. It's really, really fun. It's hard at the beginning because you're going to have to talk to and invite a lot of people before you get that first yes, but then it is the power of a snowball effect, and you get to see the power of stacking everything on top, because you'll get to a day where you're like, oh my God, it's got 6 yeses and I didn't invite anyone yet, because people finally start to get back to you. So when that happens, it gets real exciting. So if you want to give it a go for a month, I suggest, you know, don't get disheartened at the beginning. You're going to have to invite quite a few people before you get one yes, but after that it will start to pile up, and you'll be so surprised at what happens to your business in a month if you've got, I don't know, 30 days of yeses, or even if you only got 20 days of yeses. You can have the weekends off, but I think it's a good challenge. So not for everyone, of course, but if you've got some sideline buddies or some uplines or downlines that want to jump in and start a little chat with you and do the yes streak challenge, I highly recommend it. It's lots of fun. Take it, and then, you know, you can share your messages, screenshot them to each other in your little group, and it's a really good way to help each other with verbiage too, and see what's working and what's not. So yeah, that was my final little challenge for you. I did it last year and I managed to get to 27 days, and it was so much fun. It was so if you are a little bit competitive with yourself, because that's who you're competing against, then yeah, dopamine hit. That's why I was a chef. Then you can do it. So I think that's about all I've got to share for you guys today. If anyone has any more questions, let me know. Marie's doing it. Yes, go. Otherwise, yeah, I hope that was helpful to everybody. And next week, apparently in our list, I've put special guests, so I better find a special guest to get on the event. So yeah, watch this space. Have an awesome night, everyone. And yeah, I think the momentum training starting now, no, so you can jump.
Thanks, heaps.